All right, welcome, welcome. I'm Ronita. I am a Purposeful Point and I teach painting in person and online here in my basement. Fun, fun, fun. Tonight we are trying to get into the festive spirit. And so we're gonna try our hand at these ornaments. So guys, you see my shapes. I might have grabbed something that was round and try to make some round things. So do whatever works for you. I am a true believer in any kind of aid that helps me paint. There's no cheating in painting. Come on now. We'll talk about my surface. I am painting on a 11 by 14. This is I'm painting on paper. This is acrylic paper. It's called that because it holds acrylics very well. It holds the acrylic paint is water-based, so it holds it very well. I mean, if you start putting multiple layers on it, it might buckle a little bit, but for me, it does very well. 11 by 14, you can grab a canvas or whatever works best for you. Is your masterpiece. You make it happen. Brushes, I am using primarily flat brushes, especially my largest flat brush, because I'm going to cover that whole background first. Start there. So grab your largest flat brush, usually whatever you can find, usually a 1 inch, a ½ inch, 3 1/4, whatever works for you. Grab that. We're going to paint that whole background. Paints, I am using, like I said, acrylic paint. I am using a Deco Art. It's like a craft paint, craft brand that I use. And that's pretty much only paint I can speak on. I do have a few that, like when I first started, I grabbed some from Michael's, different brand. Some of it works great, but I just pretty much stick with my Deco Art because it just works better for me. So I can't speak on much else. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, we're going to be painting our background yellow. Move that over. I'm going to try to leave it in the screen. My easel is starting to, it's seen its day. I don't know. I'll hammer it to death before I get rid of it, but it is starting giving me a little trouble. You guys, you're welcome to stay. Keep your volume off mute, but I do ask if you have a background noise that you do mute, just out of respect for the other folks here in the group. So again, let's go get started. I do wet my brush a little bit. I dip it in the water, like it's just be saturated because it helps me move the paint across the canvas. But I don't want it to drip and ruin my painting, so I do tap it on a paper towel to get rid of any excess water. And there's no method to my madness. Just start painting, adding the yellow. For me, for most people, this is the most relaxing. It's very rewarding just to swipe, swipe, swipe. This is the only time that I'll give you the license to get carried away on your painting. It's yellow. Again, you choose your background. I chose yellow. I can't remember why I chose the yellow. I think maybe I was thinking about contrasting colors, and I thought that blue and the yellow would be a nice contrast. And then since we're going to be layering the paint, if I painted blue on top of the yellow, it would just be green, and I'm okay with green ornaments. So that's my thought process. I am on this paper. It actually dries pretty fast. So, of course, I'll be ready to move on to the next before you guys. So if you do have a blow dryer, that might help. Normally I can kind of like do this section, and then while that one's dry, we go move to the next section. But with this one, we are just covering our whole painting. And so with that being said, guys, don't worry about making sure you have a solid opaque color for your background.
I do some colored pencils tonight.
Oh, you can use color pencil. That's fine. That's awesome. I know sometimes Eva has used other than paint. Use a medium other than paint.
Yeah, if I can't get to my paints then I just use what's available at the time. Well, we got a new dog, so now I have more fun. Now I got two of them.
Then is this one a puppy?
No, he's a 5-year-old rescue.
Okay, so you don't have to train him as if he was a puppy. So that's a bonus.
No, well, fortunately, he was trained, so he was found as a stray apparently, but he has been trained, so that's helpful. But he's just kind of getting used to the family and stuff still. He will not go down the basement stairs, which would be nice, because then he can hang out with the one we do have that was a puppy that's 3 years old now and keep out of my hair while I'm trying to paint.
It's coming. It's coming.
It will. We've only had him 4 weeks, so.
Mhm.
So we now have the spice dogs. Ginger and Vanilla. We named him Vanilla, or Vinny for short.
I believe it was 27 degrees when I left out this morning for work. When I got off, I think it did move up to 37. So yeah, we're living through this heat stroke.
Well, I decided that for New Year's, I'm going to Hilton Head.
Oh, nice.
Yep. I said, this is too
Is
cold
that
already, too soon. So we're going down for 4 nights over New Year's Eve.
nice? I usually like to do nothing, but my husband is like total opposite. So it'll be interesting to find out what my plans are for New Year's.
Come down to Hilton Head.
Sure. Short drive.
Shorter than mine.
Oh,
It's
yeah, for
hours.
sure. How many
16 hours.
hours? 16
16
hours?
hours. Yeah.
Oh.
We're gonna stop in West Virginia halfway, sort of 8 hours in. Do it over 2 days. Now we got a 3-bedroom condo, so it's just
Wow.
me and my husband right now. So it's like, who wants to come?
Oh, Virginia's nice. I've only been there. Well, I've stayed there, I think once. You said West Virginia. I did a half marathon and we went and stayed there for that one. That was fun. And then my best friend lives in Columbia, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I've been to see her, but you know what? I've never been to Hilton Head.
Yeah, but then Columbia is kind of further inland.
It
So
is.
I can see if you're going straight down,
Mhm.
you wouldn't necessarily, unless you drive like another 4 hours across.
Yeah. But I
I think it's
mean,
about
she goes
3
all the time. So I'm like, oh, don't know. I've never. But guys, I am finished with my background. I'm going to let it sit and dry for a couple minutes. So I do advise to go ahead and stop your swiping so that you can dry. But again, like I said, the reason I did choose blue is so that if it turns a little bit green, it mixes with my paint. I'm okay with that. So keep that in mind when you're choosing your colors. Not that you have to choose blue. I mean, if you chose red, red would just blend in a little bit and be a little bit orange. So either way, you're going to be okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering, like my colors are really dark and I use a dark green? So we'll see. I think this one we're going to do tonight is going to be a little bit lighter than what I did for my example. But I am looking for something round to make my ornaments. So now you can freestyle and make your circles. I can do that. I can't remember what I used for that ornament though, but I'm always going to cheat and try to find something else to aid me. That one's too big. So guys, go ahead, make sure you're letting that dry. Stop your swiping. Swiper, no swiping. For a cup. I think I found the source. This cup. So this is one of my cups for my doing my that I do with my paint parties when I travel. When I so I have a studio. We paint in the studio sometimes, but sometimes last night I actually went to a coffee shop and we painted painted the Grinch. But so I do have these cups. They cost a little bit more than if I, use something else, but I wanted to get something that was, a little more friendlier to our environment. So that's why I grabbed these cups. So I am ready to plant my ornament. So basically, where I put my ornament was almost center, right? Almost in the center towards the bottom. That's where I kind of anchored everything with that very first ornament in the center towards the bottom. Okay. I think I had cancel. I had someone cancel. So that's how I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to kind of center that one. Center it as far as on my canvas, but you can see how far up from the bottom that I have it. You're looking at my example and then where I am. It's pretty much there in the center.
Hold on. I found it. Is it you have a pencil?
So, well, I said blue and I don't even have any blue on my palette. But what happens is with the blue, because I have that yellow base, it's going to change. I think that's how I was able to get such a darker blue. It's going to change the color. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to take my pointer brush and go make a circle all the way around. And it doesn't have to be exact or
What color is
solid.
that?
Beth, could you mute?
I
Thank
don't know.
you. Thank you so much.
I can't.
I'll do it for, oh, there you go. You did it. So, and it doesn't matter how dark it is because we just want to get that base on there. So now I have my first circle, my first ornament. So my second ornament, I also kind of made it round and then I kind of adapted it a little bit to be. Now, that being said, if you want a different shape, you want to experiment and do something different with your ornaments, you are so welcome to do that, guys. So this one, it's going to be kind of off, kind of centered. Well, not centered, but based on the same concept is about where it's going to be located. And again, my goal is just to get that outline. It doesn't have to be dark, light or dark or whatever, just so I could get my placement on my my ornament. Okay. Okay. So yes, that looks round, but like I said, I started round and I did a little something like that. Maybe almost put a triangle on there. See that, just to change the shape a little bit. And then I put a triangle at the bottom that's pointed down so that I could give that a different kind of shape. So that's how I made that one. I made a circle. I put a triangle at the bottom. And I did say I put a triangle at the top, but you can see that it's not very much of a triangle. It's almost there, but just raise it up a little bit so that it'll look different. Okay. And so now, and see, while we're doing this, although your background might be kind of wet, it's all drying because all we're doing is outlines right now. And if it mixes with whatever paint you're using for your ornaments, you're fine, because by the time we start really getting into the ornaments, they should be dry. Your background should be dry. So next shape, again, I'm encouraging you to create your own type of shapes. You can look at your Christmas tree, which I don't have up yet, and just kind of think about bulbs that you like. So my second one, it looks like a chili from Chili's restaurant, Chili's. So, or maybe a jalapeno or something, that shape. So I'm sitting here thinking. So what I'll do is I talk about, especially when I'm making flowers or designs, I make a forward C and a backward C. So that's what I'm gonna do to kind of get the shape of this third ornament. So a C. I know I said C, but don't close it in. Got kind of an open face, an open C, and then I'll go to the other side and make the C the other way. You guys see that? My C's, and then just go ahead and close it all in. So now we have a chili pepper ornament, a circle, and then something else. So I'm just kind of square that off because we're going to put our that part at the top. So there's our ornaments. You can try something different. If you want to throw another ornament in there, it's entirely up to you guys. You can put as many as you like. Something that I might suggest that I've done in the past is I've done 4 ornaments, and then it's 4 in my family, and we'll put somebody's name. Everybody gets an ornament on here. I'll put my 2 boys, my name, and then my husband on an ornament. That's something fun you can do. This is something fun you can do with your family, and add that, something to do. So fun like that. All right. So now I am ready to fill in my ornaments. You guys, I did not put any designs on my ornaments. If you want to put some zigzags, some circles, lines, or whatever to decorate your ornament, you are welcome to do so. So I am just filling it in. Now I see how dark that blue is on top of the yellow? That's how I got it so dark. I was wondering, I was like, I know I don't have a paint color that blue, so how did I get that dark? Because you guys, of course, I painted this months ago and then forget. I usually try to record myself, but I might have recorded. I just didn't look at it to see what it was. But so I don't have, surprising or not, I don't have January's together yet. They're I won't even say it's in my head, but my thought to do it is in my head, but just what to paint, I don't know. I would love some ideas, guys. I was thinking maybe some wintry scenes that we could do. I'm doing one for a paint party on Wednesday. And I got a lot of signups for that kind of wintry scene. So maybe that would be fun. We can do that. I know we did one last year. When I asked AI, said, "Hey AI, give me a winter scene," and it was awesome. So maybe I'll ask it again for this year. So now we are just filling in our ornaments. And I'm so excited that I figured out what color blue. All it is because of the layer of yellow at the bottom. It just makes my blue really dark. It's awesome.
Was it a darker blue to begin with?
Nope. This is my blue. Like I said, Deco Art, and it says primary blue. Just a primary
Wow.
blue. Right, just a regular. So like I said, all I can think of is just reacting to that darker background. I mean the yellow background, not darker.
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, of course, there's other brands. I use the Deco Art because I teach, and I use the paint that teaches is the best way as far as teaching. These are the best. That's the best brand for teaching. But if you use, it's okay. Some of the more expensive brands, the student grades in the tubes, those are awesome, and they probably have a lot better coverage than. So you're welcome to try those as well. So I in the tubes, I did a painting and I thought the tubes would be better. I needed yellow and I was painting on top of red. Yellow is totally translucent. And so I try to use the a tube of yellow. Oh, did not work. It did. It still was translucent. And then so I said, okay, on those tubes, it'll have hey, we have someone joining in. They're a little bit late, but when you buy these tubes, they do have on the back, it'll show you, like this one has a filled in square. That means that it's a solid. The paint underneath shouldn't shine through. So I was like, oh, hey, if I put this on top of that red, it should cover it up. Not true. It did not show up. I mean, it did. It shot. It didn't cover up anything. So the trick to it, if you're going to use a yellow. Hi, welcome, Savannah. We have already started. We do start. My start time is 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Savannah, it says, oh, you're in California, so 6:30. That would be my sister lives in California and she calls me at the wrong time every time because she refuses to do the calculation.
I believe that.
3 o'clock, yes.
3:30.
Yes, 3:30. I'm sorry, 6:30, 3:30. So and we pretty much I say we start at 6:36. So we're pretty much stick to that time because I want to be considerate of everybody's time because I want it reciprocated. So I do try to be considerate of your time. And also, Savannah, I do live stream this to YouTube and it'll be saved there for you to go back through and watch it. I can go over the colors. I am using blue, yellow, red, and green, but you are welcome to use any colors that you like. So, but again, you can follow up with that, the recording, and watch that anytime you like. So I think my next session next week is a gingerbread man, and I'm going to put the link in for my gingerbread. Maybe. Oh, there's a chat. Okay, so who's in the chat? Hi, girls from ME. What's in me? Maine? Welcome from Maine. Okay, that was Beth. I'm late. All right. So that is my link to my other paint workshops that I have. So we are just filling in our ornaments. And hopefully you guys know they don't have to be exact. And know that if mine looks really good in the camera, it's because it's the camera. After you finish your painting, I promise you, if you take a picture of your painting, it'll look fabulous in the camera for sure. So I'm like I said, with this being the yellow background, red would look good on it if you wanted to do it in the red ornaments. Or like I'm only doing one color. You can also switch it up and do or change up and do different ornaments. So I am still using my flat brush, but I did switch up and go a little bit smaller so that I can fit inside. And trust me, I could fit inside with that bigger brush, but so that I can pace myself with you guys, I did switch to a smaller flat brush to get in there. And it covers so well. I don't know if it's the yellow background or this blue covers so well. I really don't feel the need to put a second coat on them or anything. Because first, my example, I was looking at it, I said, oh, it looks like I put some green on it, but that's not what happened. It's because of that yellow background with my blue paint. Gives it a little bit of a green tint. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can kind of see it here.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
Yep.
looks like it's got green in there, but that's not what it is. It's just that the maybe only one layer of paint there, so that yellow kind of shines through and give it that. So I'm gonna, I'm definitely not gonna put a second coat because now it gives that vibe that I really like. So I'm gonna leave that alone. And then like I thought I had a darker green. Probably because of the yellow, the green looks really dark. Perfect. So as we finish up our ornaments, I'm grabbing my green paint and adding it to my palette, because we're gonna paint the leaves of the I guess it's supposed to be my mistletoe.
Looks more like holly.
Okay, holly. I like that better.
It's definitely holly.
Oh,
Red with those leaves is holly.
okay.
White is mistletoe.
Okay. I did not know that. So it's like I'm painting and it's I might not be looking at a picture, but it's from memory. I said, oh, I've seen these things around Christmas time. And so bam.
Mhm.
And then sometimes I'll later research what it is so that I could give it the right name. And I didn't do very well this time. So Holly,
I got your back. I got your back.
Mhm. All right, so as we are moving on to our green holly leaves, I'm gonna kind of give it a line so I'll know where am I starting. So I'm gonna have my little cluster right in the middle. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my line for my leaf. And I arched it a little bit. Can you see that? Arch that a little bit. It's like the stem, the base of for my leaf. Did I do that? How did I do that other one? This one I did a little bit different. Arch it that way. Okay. And then the third one, just wherever. I want to make sure that I leave enough room to put a little bit of string from my ornament. So don't get too close to the don't get too close to that ornament. Leave enough room where you can still put a little bit of the top of the ornament on there and enough room for the, so I might have to bring that one up a little bit just to make sure, because even though that's just the, the stem in the leaf, the leaf's going to be wider. And so the way I do that is, do I do that? Curve, and it's going to go in like that. In like that. And I'm just going to bring it on in because I went into, so out, curved. Okay, so I've outlined the leaf so you have an idea of what that leaf is supposed to look like.
It's ready.
Okay. I'm going to fill that in just so you guys can get a understanding of what I'm doing with the leaves. And it doesn't have to be even, guys. You know, I'm all about being uneven. And not that, and then sometimes I reference nature. Of course, this is not what nature looks like, but I'm always going to reference it. So no leaves are even like that. So it's okay if it's not even. Okay. I would like it to be a little whimsical. And I'm going to do this next one kind of a little bit that curve. Okay, and then on the other side, kind of do the same thing. It reminds me of like a flip from the 60s, I think. There. And the same with this last one. Last one's a little bit thinner because I had to make sure I left enough room. There we go. My examples a little bit darker. Again, I do not know what I did. If I have a darker green or not, I don't see anything. Well, actually, I just bought a darker green for the evergreens that we're going to be painting next Wednesday at the event that I'm going to, but I'm not going to add it to this painting. I like this green. It's fine. It brightens it up because that was a lot dark. It's kind of dark. So with these leaves, I stay a little bit lighter because those so you get that in there. So with the ornaments being so dark, then this lighter green, I kind of help kind of offset it. But I must say that the dark green and dark blue in that one, it gave it a different kind of look. Okay. So I kind of holly is a little bit off center, and I kind of like it like that. Okay. So next I want to I think I better add the those berries in there. Add those berries before I put the string on there. That green out of my brush. And I'm gonna put them here in between, and some of them will be on touching my leaves. So you'll see that it'll just be darker there. I'm gonna like my berries look kind of big, so if you want to go smaller, you can. But it's the size of my brush is basically they're as big as the width of my brush. So, and don't I did get kind of carried away with those berries, so don't get carried away like I did. You really need that many berries? Just make sure there's a cluster, and if they overlap, that's okay too. Definitely not going to get carried away with them. Although I put a lot of paint on my palette. What was I thinking? I'm just taking my brush and spinning it around in a circle on the canvas to make my berries. Do I need one more or am I done? One more. I mean, it's not to even anything out because it doesn't, but I'm cool with that. And again, just keep in mind when you're take one and put it on top of a leaf, it is going to be a little bit darker, but that's okay. It'll give it a little character. Um, I am ready to add my ribbon. Now, I do use just my brush at an angle to kind of make those, but you are welcome to switch over to your pointer brush to do that. That one didn't curve very well. I had to work on my curves. This one, get to the thing, and then like it went around. Okay. Then put a little bit of zag here. Hopefully I can curl it more than I did with the other ones. All right. I swirled that one pretty good. Okay. I'm gonna go a second time. I want it to be this one to be a little bit thicker. Going back over it. Okay. Same with this one. Mhm. Last one, just a second coat. Look kind of funny with the ornaments, like they're just floating. I'm painting, but my step counter is sending me messages telling me to relax. Like I'm not, you can't feel I'm not relaxed. Now I did put another swirl of ribbon at the top, so you can do that as well if you like. So now I regret doing it. I'm gonna leave it up there. So we got those, your swirls, your little berries and all that good stuff. Now I think I did use black. Or you can, if you don't want to add black to your palette, you can use the blue or black. I'm going to put the strings. You can use again. Well, for me, my blue is so dark, it looks black. So I'm okay. Oh, no, I forgot. We have to add the tops of our ornaments. Let's do that before we draw our strings. Let's add those ornaments. And for me, my ornament, that top is wide as just the tip of this brush. So I'm going to use gray to do that. If you have a metallic gold or metallic gray, I'm sorry, metallic silver, that would be cute to add that. So again, mine's is just basic, a little box at the top. It's just the width of my brush. I'm going to do that to each one of my ornaments. It's a little box sitting on top of the ornament. I am going to bring it down just a little bit onto the ornament. Kind of make it look authentic, right? And I said that about leaving some room. I didn't leave very much room for this one. There we go. So just the width of the brush, bring it down a little bit onto the ornament so it looks kind of natural. So we have that. That was, a quickie to add those little caps there. Super cute. I want to go ahead and switch to got all the large areas. We're ready to start putting our finishing touches on it. And I'm switching to my pointer brush. And, well, let me go ahead and put my finishing touches will be on painter brush, but I'm going to put this I do have black from a painting I was doing earlier today. I do have black on my palette. So I'm gonna just take that and draw a line, paint a line, not draw, from the ornaments to my cluster of berries. Okay, I'm connecting it so they don't look like they're floating. This one is a short one. I didn't realize how close I was to that one. So that one's a little bit shorter. Okay. I just did that with that one. Now I can grab my So just paint that line there. Depending on how far away your ornaments to your cluster. Grab that. Now I'm ready to add some finishing touches. So I kind of want to put some let me see if this works. A little bit of black with my green so that I can kind of make the, yeah, if I don't make it, didn't mix enough. So I'm mixing a little bit black with my green. So really what happened is I put a lot of black with my green. But I just want to make some veining in my leaf. So basically I'm gonna go back over that original with my leaf. I put that first line through there. I'm gonna go back over it with a darker shade of green, which like I said, I just mix a little bit of black and start kind of the points of the leaf. I want to kind of bring a vein out that way. When I say, you know, the veining of the leaf, I'm going to bring a veining for every corner or every point on the leaf. You can see if it doesn't make sense what I said, you can just check it out. I just done that one there. And I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to put that vein in the middle and then bring from every point, bring that in. So I did mix up enough paint to do that. So there. There we go. And that's all I kind of wanted to put. It's okay if you don't, but if you notice when you do add that to the leaves, it gives it some dimension. And I'm all about giving it some even, bringing it up off the paint, bringing it up off the surface, making it stand out a little bit. That's my my fave. So go ahead and finish up with those veinings. You don't need a lot. Like I said, only one down the middle and then one from each point of the leaf. Bring it in towards the center. And I'm still working with my pointer brush. So go ahead and rinse that black or whatever color you had in the, because we really didn't use a lot of black. And I don't think I included it on my paint list. I'm not sure if I did it on my, what's that?
It was on the one I got.
Okay, great.
Black, red, green, blue, white, yellow.
Okay. Right, I remembered that. Because like I said, sometimes I paint it and then going back to figure some things out. So now I'm looking for my white. I am ready to, did have white on my tray, but use it all. Too much white on my tray. Gosh, darn it. All you need is a little bit of these paint. I mean, it takes just a little bit to cover the whole canvas, but I'd still get carried away and squirt out so much paint. You would think after all these years I would stop doing that, but it's all good. So if you're done, you should be done with those leaves. Grab your white paint, and this is where we put the finishing touches on it. This is what I like to say, put the lipstick on the pig. It's my favorite because it's just, to me, it transforms my painting. And hopefully it will for you as well. So, I mean, you can pretty much start anywhere, but I'm going to start at the top so that I won't, drag my hand any paint. So I always kind of look at it like the light is coming kind of down from the top. And so my berries here in the middle, I'm going to put some highlights on that tip. So you see where you just put that little bit of paint on there. To me, it just gives it some dimension. It just transforms things. Hopefully your berries are dry, and like mine, but it's okay because I'm just kind of putting the paint on the surface of this white on the surface of what's already there. So I'm not going to press down. Basically just touch the paint on top of it so that even though it's kind of wet, it doesn't, you're not just turning your berries pink because you're mixing paint. So I just want to lightly touch it with the tip. That's why I like that pointer brush, kind of get that paint on the tip of your brush, and look at there. And that's with some of my berries. Well, I only had one that was wet. Now with my leaves, I kind of want to do that, kind of highlight that as well. And I'm gonna start at the top, kind of in the curves there. Just at the top now. On the top of the leaf. I'm not gonna do anything around the bottom. Because I want the leaf to look kind of not so flat, I'm gonna put a little bit. I'm gonna also, where I put the veining in, I'm gonna kind of, but right beside it, not on top of the veining, but right beside it. That also helps it stand out a bit on top. You probably put some on top of the, why does that paint look so, it doesn't look dark. What did I must still have some red paint in my brush. Let me rinse it out a little bit. And grab my white again. I think what it was is I dipped my paint in gray and not the white. That's exactly what I did. So I'm going to go back over this paint that's gray. I was like, why does that look so dark? And add white instead of my gray. Looks like my husband's up there watching MASH and he has it turned up really loud. Hopefully you guys can't hear it.
Nope, can't hear it. That's funny.
Good, good, good.
Oops. I just realized I forgot.
Right. So those are my highlights in my
Holly leaves.
in my leaves. So let's keep it moving. I'm moving down because I have a tendency to drag my hand through my paint. So put a little bit on the side of the tops of the ornaments. They're gray. You might not be able to see that white that I put down to one side of the ornament on the gray part, the top of your ornament. And now I am going to put paint to one side. I'm going to be opposite of this one because I kind of started with things from the top over to the side. And I'm going to take one line here. It gives it kind of some dimension. Then a little bit of paint on the top where it's trying to make it look kind of round. And I do that. Now I'm going to go over here to this one and do the same thing with that paint on the side. And then a little bit of like a reflection of the light on the top of the ornament. But you know, it's round. It's going to hit more light. It's going to hit it in different areas. And if you pick up an ornament and you look at it and you see that it hits in different places, you can go ahead and add some more to that. Keep in mind, like I said, sometimes when I'm painting, I don't have something in front of me and it's doing it from memory. So I'm adding my highlights to my last ornament at the bottom. A little bit right here. Okay. I kind of like that. Bring it down a little bit here too. Sometimes you just kind of experiment, play around. That's why sometimes people put themselves in a box and they want to be exact and paint it exactly, but sometimes you just have to loosen up and experiment a little bit, and you'd be surprised at what you find. And when you're experimenting, you're close, you do that, but remember to back up, look at it that way, and then come back in. Sometimes if you're too close, you can't get the whole picture, but just think about it like that. So we're actually finishing up, and I just want to encourage you, if you, like I said, if you want to throw some more highlights, make the ornament look more round. If you're looking at one, you see more light sources come in different ways to shape it differently, definitely do that. I want to put some little highlights in my my red, my ribbon. Just to me, I don't know if you're doing it, you look at it, you put that highlight in there, you can see that it just gives a little more dimension. And it's wild because, you know, in real life, you don't see that, but it helps with the painting. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to put it through the whole thing. If you can see, I just put it in some areas. So I'm cool with that. Go over here, put some on my original because I didn't do it there. Gosh, that TV is really loud, guys. So glad you don't hear it though.
Men go deaf early, I swear, but they can't hear us call.
Oh yeah, no. And the thing about it is that TV's up loud and he'll fall asleep with it that loud. It's
Oh yeah, my
comforting.
husband, same thing. It's like, how do you fall asleep? Well, let's put it this way. I guess he fell asleep so much, and he's been sleeping on the couch because the new dog is not used to, I guess, being alone at night. He
Mhm.
probably slept with his owner originally. So my husband doesn't like the wine, so he comes down. He didn't even hear that the police department had to arrest somebody who was trying to break in with a knife, and they had to arrest him at gunpoint. It's like, and then he forgets to tell me when the neighbor told him, I just talked to the wife, and she says, "You didn't hear?" I said, "No." I said, "Well, I'm sleeping at the front of the house." I said, "But I didn't get the story." And he goes, "Oh yeah, I knew. I told, I was told like 4 days ago." It's like, well, that's nice.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up. Like, hello.
Peoples, I hope that you are that you have enjoyed the painting, and also you should find in the comments on YouTube, guys. Thank you, YouTube. You should find in the comments the link if you want to join in any more of the sessions that we have. I appreciate that. Grab that link and leave a comment. Has any questions, let me know. I'd love to see a copy of your painting. That is up to you, but we're going to go ahead and log off of YouTube, and then on Zoom we're gonna do show and tell if you're up to it. No obligations, of course, guys. I'm finding to stop the recording. I can't find it. Do it's usually up at the top and it says stop the recording. I tell you, they changed everything. And see, I never get on here and